A long time ago, there was a cottage on the edge of a wood. 2 girls lived in the cottage with their mother. They were called Betty and Maggie. The cottage was an awful mess. There were dishes to be washed, the floor to be swept, and toys scattered all over the floor.
What am I going to do about all of this mess?
Maggie and Betty didn't care. They hated boring old housework. Their mother sighed.
I can't keep this cottage tidy. If only I had a brownie.
What's a brownie?
A brownie is a magical little creature that creeps into your house before you wake up, and it tidies toys and irons clothes and washes dishes and does all sorts of useful things in secret.
How can we get one?
The wise owl in the wood would know, I suppose.
Maggie and Betty crept out of the cottage and into the wood. Where do you think they're going?
To find a brownie. But first they have to find a wise owl.
So they're trying to do a good turn. But really they're being a bit silly going into the woods on their own. You wouldn't do that, would you, girls? The woods were cold and dark and full of shadows. Or were they ghosts?
We can't go back, we have to find a wise owl.
Twit-twoo, how'd you do?
It's the wise owl.
Maggie hugged Betty in relief. And soon the children were seated on the log, snuggling close to the wise owl's feathers. They explained they were looking for a brownie.
Do you know where we could find one?
Indeed, I do.
The wise owl told them they would find a brownie in the magic pond nearby. She told them they had to turn around 3 times and say, "Twist me and turn me and show me the elf. I looked in the water and there saw..."
Hoo, hoo, hoo.
Come on, Maggie, let's go.
"Look into the water," said the wise owl, "and you'll find your brownie looking back at you. Her name will finish the rhyme." The children raced over to the pool. Betty did exactly as the owl had said. "Twist me and turn me and show me the elf. I looked in the water and there saw..."
What did she see?
All she saw was her own face reflected in the water. Maggie and Betty were so sad and disappointed that by the time they reached the owl again, they were in tears.
Boo-hoo. What's the matter with you two?
We didn't see a brownie. All I saw was my own reflection.
"Well, well," said the owl. "Let's see if that fits the rhyme. Twist me and turn me and show me the elf. I looked in the water and there saw..."
myself. But I'm not a brownie.
Too true, too true.
hooted the wise owl. But you could act like one, she said. And so could Maggie. It would be fun. Maggie and Betty returned thoughtfully to the cottage. If you had passed that way very early next morning, you would have seen a light shining in the kitchen window and 2 figures busily scurrying about inside. And when the children's mother came down for breakfast, she couldn't believe her eyes.
Why, a brownie has been here. How wonderful.
There wasn't a toy in sight. Everything was clean and tidy. From that day to this, the cottage has been a different place. And Maggie and Betty have been different children. They never get bored now. They are too busy planning their next good turns. Of course, their mother knew the truth all along. She thinks she is very lucky to have such helpful children. And Maggie and Betty have discovered how right the wise owl was. Being human brownies is fun.